Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Penda James. I'm so happy that you are here to watch with me live or watch the replay. Welcome to the Resilience Project. If you are new to the Resilience Project, it is a series of conversations that I am having with people that I care about. And in having those conversations, it brings pieces of me back home because there was a time that I forgot how strong I am. And I needed to hear some bounce back stories. And I started to invite people to sit with me and have conversations. And it resulted in this, what you are watching, the Resilience Project. Today, it kicks off a special Resilience Project. I am doing what I call the Resilience Project meets now November. So if you've been following me for any period of time beyond 2014, you know that in 2014 I started a blog, and November 4th I invited people to write their bounce back story, which I didn't know that that's what it was, but to write a letter to yourself or to something that you wanted to accomplish. And we called it Now November because I looked at the calendar and I realized that year I had made a lot of goals. And I realized that a lot of them had not been scratched off. And I resigned within myself that I still had time. Well, yeah, I sound all wonderful about it now, but in 2017, I let it all go. And I left everything that was special to me about the resilience part, about my podcast and about my blog. And I left it all behind because I just kind of forgot who I was. I moved into a environment where, people didn't like me for who I was. And so I just kind of shriveled up into this little ball and stopped existing as who I am. That's why I am interviewing myself today. I love myself. And as I said earlier, I've been inviting people to sit down with me that I love. But today, let's hear from Penda. This declaration, I will do better, is significant for me because over the past few years, I've realized that I haven't been very kind to myself. So, what does it mean to do better? Let's take a deep breath there. In life, sometimes I have allowed myself to put myself behind other people. And in doing that, I've diminished my dreams and my goals, things that were always on my mind that I wanted to do for Penda. When I say I want to do better, I want to do better to take care of me, to listen to myself, to feed myself things that empower and inspire me. And what it means to do better is to acknowledge when I'm not doing well. I want to just talk about how in one season of my life over the past couple of years, I was so frustrated and so, let's just put it out there, like angry with God. Like everything that you promised me that I was supposed to be doing, I haven't accomplished any of it. Like I'm supposed to be Dr. Penda James and I'm supposed to have, a career and be published in all these magazines and be on TV. And I wanted to be in a movie, all these things that I wanted. When I say the definition of do better means that I'm going to slow down, take my time, and really process the season that I'm in and stop rushing. I don't know about y'all, but honestly, there are times in my life where I'm just rushing, trying to do everything that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing without acknowledging God, who really is supposed to be guiding my steps. So that's how I define what it means to do better, to take my time, to put my shea butter on and brush my hair 100 times like my mom taught me how to do when I had a perm back in the day. Baby, brush your hair because your hair sheds 100 strands of hair a day. But now I have natural hair, so I usually keep it braided or ponytails because I'm just not really taking the time. So I want to be intentional, and I want to challenge you all. Like, now November, I'm going to do better. So how has this been a thread throughout my life? We've talked about it a little bit, but one of the things that I've learned over these past few years, 2 years actually, of doing the Resilience Project and listening to all of you who told me your bounce back stories, is that every time you go through a season in your life where you get knocked down or you feel like you're not achieving what you thought you were supposed to be achieving, or when you feel disappointed in yourself because it doesn't look like what you had imagined, is the bounce back is in recognizing where your power lies. And I just had a conversation with someone last week. Go back and watch Amy Boyd, and her declaration was, I take root as life happens. And what we talked about is how when you're in seasons of your life, you as the tree, you don't move because you're planted by the water. But as you experience certain seasons in your life, your roots go deeper and deeper and deeper. But sometimes we allow ourselves to be planted in places that are not good for us. And the soil that we try to plant ourselves in can't handle us. It's too rocky, or it's too soft, or it isn't designed for us to take root there. So recognizing when I've allowed myself to take root in places where I don't belong is something that I've learned over and over again, listening to people tell me their bounce back stories through the Resilience Project. And we're talking about how in the world did this become a thread throughout my life, doing better. Let's talk about my Grandma Dear. She used to have a saying that she would say, you probably could say it with me: good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. So when it came to cleaning or doing my handwriting or whatever I was doing for her, if it did not meet her expectations, I had to do it over and over and over again until she felt like it was my best. So what happens when we then become the one who's consistently saying, do better, do better? Because you know when you're not doing your best. You know when you're shrinking behind somebody else. You know when things don't feel good for you, but you still stay there. For me, I've always been behind the scenes. And it's nerve-wracking for me right now, so you might feel like I'm rambling, but I don't like being in front of the camera. I want the homie. Shout out to Ministry Is Me, who is my producer for the next 4 weeks. But I want the homie to be here with me. It makes him more comfortable, makes me more confident knowing that I'm not standing in a place where God has called me by myself. That's a revelation right there. When you know that God has called you somewhere and you don't want to go by yourself, you always have somebody that's with you, somebody that's praying for you, somebody that's cheering you on in the background, somebody that's right in the wings like, you got this, do it. I'm not going to leave you. I promise I'm right here. But it's time for you to stand in the limelight. So when I say I'm going to do better, I'm going to recognize when the spotlight needs to be on Penda and stop pushing it over there on everybody else because I don't want it on me. How do y'all deal with that? What happens? Like, how do you know that you are standing in your own shine. What does that feel like? Tell me in the comments. What does it feel like to stand in your own shine? Is it uncomfortable for you? Does it make you nervous? Does it give you anxiety? How does it feel? I want to know. I want to hear from you. Tell me your bounce back story about that. What do I want people to know about doing better? It's a good question, Penda. Doing better is acknowledging when you're not giving 100%. And doing better is even the little things, even if it means you have to get up a little bit earlier or go to bed a little bit later so you can exercise or so you can pray, read your Bible. I know you don't, Monet. I know you don't like being in the forefront, but I want you to recognize that it's time for you to come on stage too, because you have a powerful song that God has given to you that you need to be singing. And when you open your mouth to sing, the healing comes. So get on that stage, sis. You know that's what you're supposed to be doing. Get on the stage and lead the people into worship, because you break up the atmosphere and prepare the way for God to come so that we can receive it. So I know you don't like being in the forefront. None of us who are supposed to be in the forefront really like it. But thank you, Monet, for sharing. I know. I know. Sigh for me too. You know, standing in the shine, it makes me nervous. Like I don't like people criticizing me, or like recently I took a screenwriting class, and my teacher was so good, and she always would say to me, it does not matter what other people think about your idea, God gave it to you. And she would send me quotes all the time, like, don't worry about what people say, like, if you're a creative, just create, it doesn't matter if other people don't like it. And that's kind of how I feel now. I'm in this season where I want to do better. I want to experience life outside of the box that I put myself in. I want to laugh real hard and dance real long. I want to wear red lipstick and have my hair sweated out because I've been having a good time. Like, I just really feel like I've spent so much of my life putting many limitations on myself because I didn't think I was good enough. You know, you may hear people talk about imposter syndrome, which is like when people walk into the room and they have this feeling like I don't belong here. My thing is, I know that I belong here, but I won't go into the room, which is a completely different thing. So some people will go into the room and they will recognize that they don't feel like they're supposed to be in the room, and I'll be standing outside of the room, but I won't go inside, even though I have my name on a seat at a table in that room. I won't go because I'm afraid. So I wanted to just publicly say, now November, I will do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better by me. I'm going to do better by other people. And that leads me to another reason why I wanted to have this conversation, is because my name, Penda, it means love. And I recognize that there are people in my life whose testimony is that I did not love them. they I've hurt them with my words or my actions or misunderstandings. And as a result of those miscommunications, the testimony of who God has called me to be as someone who shows love has been destroyed. And I just wanted to put it out there that if you are that person and you feel like I've been mean to you or rude to you or disrespected you, I just really want you to come back and ask me or tell me, because if I'm not aware that you feel like that, I could be continuing to throw daggers at you, but not really recognizing that that's what I'm doing. And my understanding of offense is like some people have a spirit of offense and they just get offended by everything because that's just how they feel. And other times people are genuinely hurt because they have triggers that have caused them to feel or experience things, and my tone or my language or how I think about things might be offensive to them. I'm not somebody who is seeking to hurt people's feelings or to be mean or rude or disrespectful or anything like that. But I do understand that it is important to honor other people and where they are in life. And so I want to say that, you know, some people were offended because I didn't personally invite them to come and sit with me here and have a conversation. The invitation is open. If you want to join me in a Resilience Project conversation, or if you want to be one of my guests for Now November, let me know. It is open for you. I want to hear your bounce back story. But I also want you to know that I'm not thinking about every single person on my timeline or in my phone or in my email. So if you want to participate, just let me know. That brings me to my friend Beth, who has a book called You Belong Here. And one thing that she said in her TED Talk was, we have to think about when we do diversity and inclusion, how you extend your hand, cameras over here, you extend your hand to people and you say, come join me or come join us in this space. But when you do self-inclusion, you're extending your hand saying, I'm coming too. I'm coming too. So thank you all for being here tonight. I hope that next week you will join us. We're going to have some wonderful conversations about the 4 pillars, which are love, faith, courage, and restoration. Tonight was self-love. Look in the description and you will see the rest of the conversations. They're all really powerful, and it's a conversation that we're having. Now I am going to do this. Now I will not quit again, because I know people are out there and you've tried and tried and tried and you didn't succeed. And so you just stop. Well, maybe it wasn't the season. Maybe the season is now. So get back out there and do it again. I want you to just pay attention, because I'll be posting on my page what the other decorations are for the rest of the month. And I want you to join me here every Monday at 7 o'clock. Tell me what you think in the comments. I would love to hear so much more from you. How do you deal with standing in the shine? And what are you going to do to be better? I love and appreciate you all. And thank you, homie, for being here with me. And we will see you soon. Love you.